I just talked.
All right, we live, so don't talk about nobody bad the Jay want here.
What Perry do it?
Cindy!
Hello, we're live. We're live.
Hey!
Oh,
Hey!
Mega, give him that whole plug thing so you can plug it.
This plug.
What plug?
we live.
The charger.
We're live on the show.
Which one?
What phone?
Phone charger.
Which
iPhone.
No, I mean,
0%.
Jesus.
And you be live.
That's the only socket, so it
We're live on the show.
Greg, give me a long one. That's, you think I'm going to give me a long one? That's all.
Chappelle Show.
Oh,
Chappelle Show.
What you doing? Plug that back in.
You can plug it in over here.
Can I get a witness?
No,
Freedom.
children,
Don't
boy.
you know?
Hey, how about them cows, boy?
Anyhow.
Calvin
Alright.
F.
I want you to link again.
I do want to sorry.
You know Miss Kobe?
Hush. All right. Welcome back to the Entrepreneur Shift the Culture podcast. We are back. We are full. Jay is getting full, eating his nuggets, and we are
Why
here
you
to
gonna put me out
discuss.
like that, dog?
What?
Why you
Because
gonna
I
put me
mean,
out
they can
like
see you, Jay. Well, not the people on SoundCloud that can listen to this, but the people on Facebook Live right now can see you stuffing your face with these nuggets.
You want top?
No, that's okay. You can keep that video yourself. Welcome, we are back, and we will be discussing today having multiple hustles as an entrepreneur, because you know you can't just stick to one thing these days. And so we have a full house. We have Mr. Antoine Thompson, Jigsaw Bahamas, also Percy the Pod Cake, also what else? What am I missing out?
Drone Bros 242.
Drone Bros 242.
And don't forget I'm an artist also.
Also an artist, engineer, producer, everything.
Everything.
We have, as usual, Mr. Travis Miller.
Hello, everybody.
What you do, Travis? How much hustles you have?
4.
4 hustles. Name them for us, please.
Shift the Culture.
Uh-huh.
Starter Island.
Uh-huh.
Thought and Method.
Mm-hmm.
Arlink Ventures.
All right.
You know, for a second I thought he said thought. Adventure.
But not thought.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Not no.
This is the methods to be a thought.
Yeah, give me
All
a
right, we
business.
also have Jay Isaacs. Mr. Jay Isaacs, you also have multiple businesses. Please inform us of those.
J. Isaac Photography, JKL Media, Savage 100, which is a
Savage 100. What's that?
which is an indie record label.
Okay. Oh, you got the whole damn label.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got a label, photography company,
And a full media
business.
company. Yeah.
Wow. Now, the question is, how do we, well, me, of course, me, you all know me, Greg, cookie caterer. That's my main squeeze.
Crack.
Then I got a couple little side things.
Little sweethearts here,
little
yeah.
things on the side I do.
podcast.
Yeah, the podcast, this Entrepreneur podcast, Shift the Culture podcast, also Under the Rug podcast. The whole Under the Rug Media Group is just a media company that I've started to have, a host of shows and podcasts to have different discussions with different perspectives. So those are the things that I focus on mainly. Any other hustles like that?
Full-time daddy.
Basically,
That's
yeah.
all-
So
that's awesome.
those are my main things. The cookie caterer
That
takes
is a
up
job.
the majority of my time, so I don't have a lot of time left for, that many businesses on the side. So that's what I do. So, guys, let's go around the table. Why do you have so many businesses, and how do you manage them? How do you divvy up the time between those businesses? Anton?
Must always start with me. Well,
Yeah.
the reason why I have multiple sources of revenue coming in is because I think, I always was a big follower of Warren Buffett. And I remember him saying something like, when you have multiple sources of income coming in, that's the quickest way to gain wealth. So I always kept that in mind. And I always felt like, most of us over here we work in jobs that we don't want to work. We want to do stuff that we always wanted to do. So I think, the best thing to do is to do what you want to do. If you have an opportunity to do it, if you got to save up for it or so forth, just go ahead and do it, man. Because, all of us ain't paying off for the 9 to 5. So I took it upon myself, especially when I started with my music, to say, I want to make this a career. And then it blossomed into something else. That's when not Percy the Parking, the Jigsaw Bahamas came into play, because I saw that as something different besides the rigmarole, everybody open a clothing store or a restaurant, something different that I felt.
So you have a few items for the shameless plug there already.
Yeah,
See that later on.
And then, it goes in there, and then there was the drone bros that I started from, me just doing it as a hobby where I saw it could be also a business venture. So to me, that was the reason why I figured that I wanted to become my own entrepreneur.
Okay.
Dope.
Travis,
Yeah. So what's the question again?
why do you have multiple
Multiple things.
businesses, and how do you decide, how you divvy
manage
up
it?
the time between them?
Well, I think the primary reason for all the multiple things is very strategic, the things that I am working on, because they are connected in a few ways. So, Shift to Culture is the general community of it. Starter Island is kind of that feeder, if you will, to kind of put the kind of lessons of entrepreneurship in that realm of, that 5-day competition. And plus, just competition is fun. People work a little bit more harder or, a little bit better during competition. Now, when it comes to Thought and Method is a venture between me and two of my business partners where I put my craft to the max. So doing web design, web development, social strategy, all those things in play from an advertising perspective. But it's kind of more digital than traditional advertising. And then our Link Ventures, going back to the startups and entrepreneur stuff, is we want to build this kind of accelerator where we want to start connecting people who have these great ideas and these projects and connect them to funding. So that's probably the newest out of the four set that we're working on. They're trying to bridge that gap so we could get some funding to these ideas and start making a lot more of these ideas a reality. How I manage all those things, I can't do it alone. I couldn't do it alone. So it's having a great team, just like the show, having people on the show kind of all pulling their weight and everything else, whether it's Shift the Culture with the whole community, me and Steven partnering on Starter Island, or, me, Sasha, and Tony with Thought and Method, and then my other partners for Our Link Ventures. It's like we all come together because we kind of have a passion for all these things that we want to do, and everybody wants to pull their own way with that. That's the only way we could have ever gotten this far in all those things to do that. So it's definitely not me. And I would take this opportunity right now to thank all the people that have helped me this far to kind of do those different things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Mr. Isaacs,
Yes, sir.
you, why you have all these businesses, and how do you manage it?
I'm a
Get closer to the mic for me, please, sir.
I'm a perfectionist. I'm a obsessive creative. So all of my hustles are created like Travis's. Everything is media based, whether it be music, film, TV production, or photography. Photography started out. That's the ultimate one. That's my foundation, and everything grew from there. I void and legitimacy. So I founded Salvage 100, got it licensed in the UK, and brought all the information I had gathered over the years from different networking seminars and people in my network, and just trying to create a proper platform for non-traditional artists to have. So how I cope with it, I outsource a lot of my stuff. So instead of me taking it on 100% and trying to do everything, and I do have a team here. Kenny does a lot of my editing.
Shout out to Kenny.
Shar does.
out to Shar.
She's a little creative herself. She has a lot of great ideas. She helps help me manage my time effectively, and so I won't go insane staying up 3-4 o'clock in the morning. But it's just having that right team, having the right team, and knowing when to delegate to other professionals, because you can't do it all yourself.
And why is it important to have all of these businesses?
Like Mega said, residual streams of income. When you're doing it for yourself, in entrepreneurship, you'll have lulls depending on what you're doing. Unless you're a crack dealer or a drug dealer, you're gonna have lulls. Okay. So when I saw photography taking a shift that it did, and creating this vacuum for all these little cheap photographers undercutting my price, I said, you know what, I need to diversify the product. And this allows me, when I have a dry season here, I have a heavy flow here.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it just solidified my residual income, so it could be all year round, so I don't have to depend or look at the plan B of pulling the plug and going and taking a 9 to 5.
Same thing for you, Travis. I don't think you said why you have
Those
What did
different
you-
things?
Yeah.
Because how I look at it is all connected. Well, I mean, outside of thought and, how they connect are the community needs that foundation for a lot of these like ideas and stuff to happen. Starter Island kind of puts that to 100, like 100 miles per hour, where you kind of put it in this workshop or boot camp framework to kind of get people to think on their feet a little bit more. Thought a method just from the creative standpoint is that either if something needs a design or a strategic approach, you kind of put that on top of it to kind of put in those directions. And then, like I said, our link, which is the biggest thing that we want to work on, is to start building up funding for these ideas to come into place. And I think they all work as a cycle. So I think they're all important pieces of one thing. And I think, and the crazy thing about it is obviously like you would move a lot faster just focusing on one at a time. But I'm taking that time to develop all in the places that they need to be, so it could be equally as strong in all the aspects.
Well, for me, it wasn't about multiple revenue streams, because the main business was doing pretty well by itself. So I didn't need multiple revenue streams. I started doing this because it was a passion. It's like I really got tired of the conversations that I was hearing, on traditional radio, and I felt that you needed different voices, different perspectives, and there was like nowhere I could go in the Bahamas, at least. In the United States, it's a different story because they have so many podcasts and different shows you could listen to and get. You could find whatever you want.
Satellite radio.
Yeah, but as far as the Bahamas, like that was lacking. It was missing, and so I saw a void there that needed to be filled. So it was more passion driven. This aspect, this hustle or this business, is more passion driven as opposed to just to diversify a portfolio. So that's my reason for having this along with my other business.
Right.
As far as the time, now you're lucky. From what I hear, you all got people.
You always have people, bro.
Unfortunately, I have. Well, thank goodness for Keitra because she.
Exactly.
That's why I
I was
said.
gonna say now, who got people?
Look here, thank goodness, because boy, look here, it's so much.
Yeah.
It is.
So much.
It's overwhelming at times.
And sometimes
It's
people don't
Greg,
really...
Boy, look here.
I do this by myself. You do that.
Yeah, and it's rough. And
It's rough.
these are the times where it's the most difficult because you have to do it by yourself on the ground level. It's like you have to do so many things because you just can't afford to have a full staff when you're just starting out.
And also, you can't. In some cases, you can't trust people with the dream
another
because
thing.
they're so
Yeah,
unreliable.
and too, also what I find funny is like when you're trying to borrow money from the banks for a business. let me just say that now. The bank will give you a $50,000 loan for a car faster than they give you a $20,000 loan for a small business.
Right.
So
Because banks aren't designed.
that also
But you know
makes
why,
it
right?
why? Because they could make more money off you with the car than they make with the. I understand that.
If you have a whole rinky-dink business and you fail, they lose their money.
lose their money.
At least with the car, they have something they can take and try to resell.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why. I mean, because I know a lot of people say that they say, oh, I can get a loan for a car. Well, if you look at it, and this is why I like to look at things from different perspectives.
Right.
People tend to look at things only from their perspective. If you look at it from the bank's perspective, I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I need something tangible that I can hold on to in the event that you can't make your payment.
But too, that has something to do with the society, because what are we being taught in school about making businesses?
Nothing.
Exactly. so if you don't know in school, like say they have a class or saying, well, okay, if you want to start a small business, here's the necessary steps, because we just can't walk inside the bank and say, well, go to a loan officer and say, look, I want to start a business. Because the first thing they're gonna look at you is like, but you crazy because you ain't coming there with nothing in your hand, no business plan.
Exactly.
Okay, how you gonna make the money? How much you making? So we are not even teaching the young people who coming up. This is how you start a business.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to have a neighbor who was a businessman. He's like, look, this is what's gonna happen when you start a business. This is how much you're gonna make when you start the business. Don't expect to make no money between this amount of time because he went through it. So when you have people who already went through it and they can teach you about it, then it makes it easier for you to sit there and plan stuff.
Right.
But
But we don't want work. We don't want owners. We want workers.
Okay, yeah.
That's the society.
That's the problem I have with the society.
I agree.
You know
And
what I'm
that's
saying?
why it's so important to cultivate community, like people who are on that same level or not even necessarily like you had the...
You can plug Shift to Culture. That's what it's for.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you either have an opportunity if you have mentors. That's great. People
Right.
who've been through it way before you. But I also think it's important to have people going through it with you because some challenge that they may face, it might be a problem or a upcoming problem that you have to solve as well. And I think that's important. Like I said, outside of that, it's like society by default doesn't teach that.
Right.
So you have to kind of
Right.
build that group of people.
So I feel like that's why I always felt like systematically, it's like the system is designed for you to fail because it's not going to give you the tools to say,
Of course
here's what you
it
got to do.
is.
And that is sad on the bottom saying you're trying to grow the Bahamas, you want the Bahamas to go somewhere. Well, when you can start, if you even teach us the basics,
Let me ask this: in starting the other businesses, was the reason, or was this any of the reason? Like you thought, okay, if this one don't work out, I'll have this one too. Like, was it like a fallback type of reasoning for starting your other businesses?
No, let me give you an example. When I started, the reason why I started Jigsaw Bahamas was initially because I was a junkanoo. I rushed with a major junkanoo group for 10 years. The way I saw the tourists, when you looked at it, when you come off Bay Street, they used to come to me like, can I have your costume? Can I have a part of your costume? They would basically literally give you sometimes $50 to $100 for a hat. What you wear in your hair. Because I know about it, because I did it.
Right.
And for a lot of junkanoos, what we do with the costume, we finish it. We throw it away.
And that happened like I drive through
exactly.
and that big the grouper.
Yeah.
They
You know what I'm saying?
Literally, it sat on the park and just deteriorated right there on the park. You just watch it as time passed.
Exactly.
I was like, wow,
So,
all that work.
It gave me an idea. I was like, okay, not every tourist want to carry a big chunky costume with them.
They don't want to carry a group on the plane.
On a plane or a cruise ship. So I was like, how can they take the culture and make it into an art form where they can have something interactive with and you get a picture of it, but you also make it fun. So I came up with the idea. So I'm going to go on Bay Street. I'm going to start taking pictures,
Right.
but yet I'm going to make it into interactive activity,
Awesome.
into jungle puzzle.
Yeah.
Because I was like, look, I always heard people talking about how do we take jungle and make it into a business. Well, I just give you an example.
Just one example.
And that's,
Yeah.
that was,
And
that's
this
quite
is one
clever.
example.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
You know what I'm
quite
saying? So the funny thing about it is, now when I went to the National Jungle Committee with it, I got so much flack. You know what the first question they asked me? Who gave you authorization to take the pictures? I was like, oh, excuse me?
Really?
With your camera?
Were
With
you,
my camera.
did you have permission to be on the parade with your vest?
Exactly.
That's your picture.
In a
You can
public,
do what you want to
in
do.
a public domain.
Yeah.
Okay, which means that it's a
But then again,
freelance.
it could be so much levels to that. It's
There's
like
always
they'd be like,
some
it'd be like,
level of
shit, why
bur-
didn't I do
Exactly,
that?
and
It's
see,
like,
the thing is with young entrepreneurs too. Sometimes you get a lot of flack from these old people who ain't thinking.
they
of the
intimidate-
box.
they
They try to
intimidate
intimidate.
you, yeah.
So what I did is,
and I'll always be like that.
what I did is I just smiled. I
I
said,
wish
okay,
they
fine.
would.
Now today, 3 years later, I'm making a revenue off the puzzles. The same jungle puzzles that I came to them and say, look, this is a way we could make some money off the.
You
off the-
approached them with the
I
idea.
approached them with the
they kicked it
idea,
back, so
and
you
they
did
kicked it
your
back.
own. Yeah.
Wow.
Like it's like like what you doing?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so I guess you must feel a certain type of way because somebody else thought about it and not you guys.
Ministry
what I'm
of
saying?
Youth and Tourism.
Oh, I wouldn't talk about Ministry of
We
Education.
need some investments here.
You know what I'm saying?
We need
I
some,
went-
it's the people's time.
I took the same jungle puzzle to
Mass
the,
production.
to the Ministry of Education. So I was like, look, this is something that you could give the kids. It's your culture. And it's also, there are benefits from puzzles. If you know anything about puzzles come with benefit. Hand-eye coordination, your motor skills. It decreases autism.
Really?
Alzheimer's. Just like you could do reports on these things. And when I went to the Ministry of Education with that, 5 minutes before I came to the place, I got a call saying, well, the minister's not interested in what you have. I said, but he didn't even see me to know what I have. So I was like, being serious. Because this is not only just for culture, this is also educational.
But you know what the good thing is? At least you didn't let that stop you, because a lot of people.
Yeah, that would have been a huge roadblock
Yeah.
for
And
people.
that's a big
Yeah.
part of entrepreneurship is you're going to be told no so many times.
Exactly.
And you're going to be looked at as though you are crazy. Because in most people's minds, what you attempt to do with your business ventures are going to be crazy to them.
Yeah,
You know
of
what I mean?
course.
So you have to be able to take those no's and keep going, but not only keep going, but keep going with the same level of enthusiasm and excitement and passion that you started with, even
but-
after the no's.
Yeah, and see, the thing about me too, Craig, you know me, I'm an outside the box thinker. I don't think the same occasional way. I just see things differently. I always tell people sometimes this country be like, what can we do this country to, diversify or get the economy moving? I think, you already sit down and look at so much different stuff around you going on to say, I can't find something else to do. But I feel like a lot of Bahamians, we have money, but where we work so hard for it, we scared to invest our money in other things.
Scared to take risks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But yet a foreign company will take the same risk, and we see him make $1 million off it, and we get upset.
not necessary, because we went back to what we said with the availability of I don't know why someone's calling me while I'm on a podcast. Don't call me. The availability of credit.
Right.
I feel like foreigners have the benefit because they could bring credit from wherever they're coming from and get credit from the bank. And we're here with our hands tied behind our backs because the banks aren't playing with us. The Bahamas Development Bank is a piece of shit. And when you do carry a creative idea, they'll look at you, they'll bog you down in the red tape and all this other
Yeah.
stuff, and then you know what happens? They take that very same concept.
Give it somebody else.
6 months later, give it to one of their cronies or their friends, put some funding behind it, and that's the idea gone.
Okay, but we want to focus on them niggas. So, Jay,
I mean, that's real.
when it comes to you, right? What made you start? Okay, so what was the first business that you got into? Your first-
Photography.
Photography was
was-
the first thing you got
Right.
into, and what was the second?
Photography, and then it was JKL Media.
Okay,
Which
that's-
is the
that's
production
kinda
company.
Almost in the same.
No, JKL is more production, film, television, concepts, and
So that was
workout
more
products.
of a. I see that more as an evolution as opposed to like a
It
an
was.
entirely new thing.
It was.
But when did you decide that this was the next step?
Pretty much, my creative process grew, and I wanted to take a lot more on, and I wanted to express myself in different ways. Right? We started Happy Food Store 242, and I was like, okay, this feels good. Let me do this. And at that time, the photography industry, got saturated, and when those young dudes came in, I was like, you know what? It's time to fully diversify, not divest, or give up on the main passion because I'll always have that love. But let me don't rely on this too much.
Put too much egg. Well, you know what we like to say. Put all them eggs in one basket.
Right.
You didn't want to put all your
You
eggs in
know,
that basket.
because I mean, when that wave first came, it was horrible. To this date, it's still bad, but it's not as bad as it was. So it came out of the need for diversification, and it grew from there. So JKL Media was founded, and then as I got into the media industry, mainstream media and radio, I looked around and I heard the crying and the moaning about we don't have opportunity and we need opportunity and this and that. And I was like,
That probably anyway.
okay, what is it
There's children
what can
present.
I do? You know what I mean? And I went to a few not live mics, but those freestyle open mic situations, and I saw some legit young talent that hadn't been tainted with that lazy, niggerish mentality.
You sure?
That you know, I am sure. And I said, you know what? Let me take the time, and I'll personally invest the knowledge and time and effort that I have and the resources I have in these, and let me polish the product. And it's been working out.
And that's how we met, actually.
Yeah.
That's literally how me
Really?
and Jay met into. And if more people did that, you would be surprised how much multiple hustles you could probably do with you individually. So that was pretty dope. But I don't know. But anyway, but the whole opportunity argument to me goes hand in hand with the multiple hustles, because if you really break down, I think it starts, okay, what are you good at? First and foremost, what are you good at, or what are the
And
things
really good
that
at
you
now. No, but you tell yourself
yeah,
you're good at.
or what are the things,
different.
or what are the things you have experiences with, or things that you've been around, right? Like with me, I was hardcore programming, but I've been in a lot of meetings and presentations where I looked at and listened to sales pitches, and then me being involved in the startup community more. That was kind of like, hey, I've done this before. Maybe I could do this or do something around this. And that was like, okay, and I did it, and I got comfortable to a point where I say, okay, I can add this to my toolkit or hustle out, whatever you want to call it. But you got to open up your mind and your eyes to see the different things that you do. Like people, like you have people who could cook and don't think that as
they don't think
a multiple thing. I mean, and to be all fair, it may be a hobby or just maybe a relaxing thing, but like, don't be that person and then say there isn't any opportunity.
Yeah. Don't be governed by fear.
Yeah, don't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. And everybody is different. Everybody is different. Like the same person who might be really good at playing music, who could do like a hustle, my thing. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
You
But-
no longer take me
Yeah, but
seriously,
don't-
not realizing that you could perform or you could tutor.
Right.
Tutoring, if you have a specialty,
Education is probably the biggest
But you know-
segue that you could get into making something into hustle.
Are just good at what they do. Like they are good at, like a good artist or a good chef. Like they just good at cooking, but don't have. So they don't even think within those realms. They just think I just want to cook, but I just want to make
Which is
music.
fine.
And that's
I just
where-
wanna record.
and that's
So
where
Don't be
teams
that
come in.
person. Don't be the person.
You say teams?
Who can
Yeah.
do
That's
that?
correct. I
Don't
agree
be
with
ass at
that.
it
You know,
and complaining that nothing to
Oh
do.
no!
Don't be
no,
that
yeah.
person.
Well, don't complain at all. I don't
Yeah.
like people who complain. Period. Like
Yeah.
you should have no reason to complain, especially if you're alive and you're healthy and you have your good sense. You ain't have no mental disabilities or nothing like that. You ain't got nothing to complain about. Especially in this era. This is the best era to live in, period. Because I always tell people, if you broke in this era, that's because you won't be broke.
Exactly.
All we have are opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, the world is at your fingertips. Literally. And even with now with Facebook and Facebook ads, you could literally target. You know how much money advertisers and big companies would spend just to advertise to people? Now you could target to exactly who you need to get your product to. My goodness.
SEO marketing.
I think is magic for me, especially.
And going beyond Facebook, direct finding someone to do some SEO analytic work to target and abuse your target audience.
That Facebook ads thing has been one of the best things that has ever happened for jigsaw bombers. I did return. It was 10 times more than that.
I have only,
you know what I'm saying?
Facebook has been the only form of advertising that I have done.
Yeah.
5 years. Only, well, now lately, so.
They're following that trend. They're following that trend.
Yeah. Before Instagram took
it's linked to Facebook.
That's linked, so once you post it there, it's going to link right, you know what I'm saying?
Money on a radio ad for nothing.
For nothing. For
That's
what?
Well, I mean,
Hey, hold on. Wait. You have a radio guard.
It depends strategically how you do it.
Yeah, and for your level, and you don't need radio.
No, but let me tell you why I say that though. Because radio in this country is so far behind. They haven't become digital as yet. So they cannot give me the kind of numbers and reports
I agree
that I can get. You can't tell me. You can't tell me how much people can hear this ad.
I agree.
You can't tell me the demographic that can hear this ad.
Yeah.
What I pay for? I throw in my money basically hoping that people and now every other week is a new station out.
Hold on. The best station, Hot 91.7, your mega hit station.
Shameless plug. Anyway, again. You can get philosophical and strategic. Like, you could do a radio ad.
A radio remote. It all depends. It all depends on your market.
And I think sometimes it depends on what you're doing too.
It depends on your market, what it is.
And right, how many ads have like a call to action to go to a digital platform where you can measure it? Like, it's all those.
Yeah.
There's different ways you can come up.
Because radio is still effective because we
sure.
proved that in a campaign that we did earlier, Icon at Islands with the audition aspect of it.
Okay.
We didn't expect, because seeing it from both ends, I work on radio and then I was involved with the project behind the scenes, and the response behind the scenes was overwhelming. So it still has its relevance in this day and age. There does need to be a tweak and upgrade so people could have that data, because you need that data to adjust and evolve your campaign.
And the thing is, I don't think they realize that they could be shorting themselves. Because if you don't know how many people are listening, you can't really charge accordingly. You basically just guess and will be.
At the end of the day,
you can have more people than you actually think that you know.
At the end of the day,
so that should be more motivation to get digital so that you can have these actual numbers.
At the end of the day, it's fair for coming up short and not having the numbers that you say that you have.
I realize that
and staying in the game by undercutting rates and doing that type of bush marketing and what stuff.
It's like a Jedi mind trick.
Yeah.
You know.
So the minute
only so much people listen to
the
radio
minute
station.
radio here becomes digital and you could get those numbers, you will see a lot of doors close.
Well, let's to wrap up. Pros and cons of having multiple businesses.
Oh, you want to go on? The con is
Whatever you want to go with first.
Pros and cons.
You start
A
with
pro and a con.
Okay, one pro.
One con.
I think one pro is being an entrepreneur and working for yourself. You work at your own pace, your own time. Okay. One con, you stay broke.
Hold on.
I don't accept that.
Let me start it over. When you started,
There's specific.
let me be more specific. When you start a business, small business, it takes a lot out of you, particularly in funds too. Especially if you start with a budget.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to require you to take a lot of money that you have to do marketing, and a lot of people. I think that's where a lot of people fall on business is marketing. I think you spend more money marketing your product than the product itself.
A product, whether it be whatever you put in your product, or equal into marketing.
I think you got to gauge based on what you do.
Yeah,
And it all depends. Like, Greg,
depending on what you do.
You're a thirst trap. Your cookies are dope. I was like crack. That's like singing crack on the
But
corner.
there's so much free marketing out there. You know what I mean? There's so much ways to get free marketing.
off. It's like so much time and so much money and effort you got to put in it. Sometimes, look, when I started off with the jigsaw bombers, like I said, my friend of mine I spoke to, he's like, listen to me. When you start this business, don't expect to see anything right now between 3 to 5 years. Okay, because
I don't know. That's horrible advice.
But the thing is, I understood where he was coming from because I saw what he did with his business.
Yeah, that's
And
but that's
he
his
started-
experience. Everybody's experience is different.
No, but see, and then number two, you understand too. What am I doing? It's so unique and so different. So he was looking at that to say, "Well, what you doing here right now is going to take some time for people to grasp it."
Yeah.
That's why he said that.
You spend a lot of money building.
You have to condition your audience.
So he said, right now you have to put in time
Yeah.
and the money to get this thing awakened because it's new, it's different.
Yeah.
People are not going to pick up on it right away. You know what I'm saying? So that's where he was coming from with it.
Yeah, but I adhere to that 3 to 5 principle. Not to say
You say
that
3 for 5?
Three to 5
year
years.
principle in terms of don't expect anything for 3 to 5 years. Now you might see progress and it might happen shorter than that.
Right, but don't
mentally
expect
it.
it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what he's saying. You know, like,
It could be
Yeah,
something-
you know,
something-
Don't get
Because
excited.
a lot of
when
people
you
say
see
when
it.
you start a small business and something different, like by right up the gay people can start liking it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like, you
Look
got to
at Popeyes. He's not a.
mentally, get yourself prepared for that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I'm saying now, I'm starting to see
That's not
it
shit.
turn around. It. So that's the only pro and con I have with it right now. You know?
Thomas, pros and cons, multiple
Pro and
businesses.
cons for multiple hustles. The pro is that you cover a lot more bases in a dynamic way. It's a way to come at maybe one problem or slice a problem up in different perspectives, depending on what you're like. My philosophy is that like in order to do the multiple hustles, they all have to either feed off the same energy or like connect somehow, some way. If I'm gonna add something new, that's the pro. So it's different ways to tackle a problem. Like my things that I'm working on is either building the community, helping with strategy, competition and awareness, and then fundraising. Those things, like as long as they can connect in that frame, then that's work. The con of that is obviously the biggest con is time.
Yeah.
Like you divide your time drastically in cases like that. That's why you always have to offset that with either carving out that time in order to dedicate to those things because life happens. You have to stay disciplined. And
Especially
carve
if
it
you're
out.
doing it by yourself.
Yeah, especially you doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And that brings me to the next important factor, kind of off. Has the same vision. You could respect one another, and they all want the same goals for that, and then that kind of offsets that.
Nice.
Jay.
Side of success and money, fulfillment. Because I would hope that you're in business for yourself because you enjoy what you do, and you're going and giving everything you have, every idea. So there's a certain level of fulfillment, and there's peace of mind in that, right? I would say the same cons that are in the 9 to 5, the stress, the frustration, the time management, the sacrifice for family, everything that you find when you work for somebody, you will find in the entrepreneurship. So the same cons you have 9 to 5, manage it right. If you're not in it for the right reasons, you will have the same problems.
Well, for me, pros, freedom, doing what you want to do, following your passion. That's basically like, for me, the big thing is doing what I want to do. You know what I mean? Having that freedom, that independence, and like working with multiple passions because a lot of people don't get that opportunity.
Yeah.
Because we all are human beings. Okay, this is you.
Accounts
This
for the
is
rest
who
of
you
your
are.
life.
Yeah, this is who you are. But when you have these, you get to explore different passions that you have.
And you tend to
know
have
what I
different
mean?
experiences.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
More, meet different people, like it's different
Cultures,
experiences.
yeah.
It's a lot. It's so much in that. And cons, as we all said, with time, how to dividing the time up between those businesses and your personal life because
Yeah.
you're still human beings. You still have families. You still have
Or
people
if you
want
like
to
me.
spend time with.
Yeah.
And also, you got to understand that one of your hustles, or at least some of your hustles, are gonna suffer because you're not dedicating all your time to it. So it's not gonna get your full attention. So it potentially won't reach its full potential because you're not putting everything into that one thing. So I'd say that would be the con of doing multiple things is that you're not focused and locked in on one thing. So each one may suffer a little bit, may because you're not really dedicating everything you have to it.
Especially if one is taking off quicker than the other.
Yeah.
Because I can say that with the Jigsaw Bahamas one, this one right now is taking up so much time to the point where sometimes when people call for aerial footage, I can't really allocate that time because I have appointments and deadlines to make
There you
because
go.
of this. In relationships, but especially when you get a girlfriend or wife. But you better find that.
No excuse with the girlfriend or the wife. If
Listen
she
to
ain't
me.
in the hustle,
No,
get out.
you dig so.
So let me run through some of these comments. Andrew Roll has been very engaged. He made plenty
Yes.
comments.
Fellow photographer.
Yeah, big up Andrew. Says open minds / closed minds. I think Vezi King J Dat. I don't know. I hope that ain't on your
Easy.
passport.
He's a rapper.
Oh, he's a rapper. Okay, that ain't your.
I'm producer.
I take it that ain't your government name. But he said, "Pay attention, Jay." I don't know if he mean when you was eating your nuggets.
No, I was looking at the phone.
But he said, "Pay attention." Andrew Roll also said, "Not everyone has vision. Also, some minds can only see the success of others at the end of their journey." And he said, "I commend the crew for what they are doing here. I am a photographer also and evolving." Why, thank you, Andrew. We appreciate you for tuning
Oh,
in.
man, thank you very much.
And Alan Pacino Wallace, as always, tuning in as well.
Yes.
Says,
Shout out to the curry post, by the way.
Yes.
To the homie.
Yes, big up
Starboy.
Alan.
Yeah, Alice, he's
hosted
so
by ESPN.
he's so busy.
That's a
guy.
big timers, man.
Sir.
And I was on the spot and there's a funny nigga
Sir.
like watching TV. It's like, hold on, that look like Alan Wake with the
Sir,
curry powder.
I just
Like,
want
yeah.
the Larry O'Brien trophy done in advance. Golden State. Make sure I put Kevin Durant.
In
And
what
have
though?
crying LeBron.
What is he gonna
Make
make
it
it
go
up this
viral.
time?
Where's LeBron up? So we got let's see what else we have here. Nadia Wiley says everything, not everything, everything in the country far behind. I'm just saying. Keitra says bush marketing.
That's when I said bush marketing.
You said bush marketing. You? Oh yeah. Crystal says one con. Sometimes entrepreneurs put more into one business over the other, as we
That's
just,
what he said,
we
right,
just
yeah.
discussed. Yeah. Andrew Roll says the sky is the limit. Andrew Roll says 3 to 5 years will build consistency and longevity. Except chicken. Chicken is always in season. Well, you got a point.
That's true.
Yeah, he does have a point. Yeah, I don't know.
We still have farms over here for poultry. Remember they had
I think some of them are just Starbucks.
any in Nassau? Like remember they had the Margot farm and they had the chicken.
I think we have one.
I
in Nassau.
think government still has the one on
I think we still have
Lawson
one
Road,
independent one.
Either way, chicken salad. And it always will.
Chicken will always have, as long as they belong.
Popeyes and KFC.
All right, so I guess we can wrap this one up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for participating, Don Thompson. Where can we find the stuff, your puzzles, and Punchy the Board Cake?
Everything's on Facebook. You know, once you type in Jigsaw Bahamas on Facebook, Percy the Pot Cake. Right now it's also on Facebook. Drone Bros 242 is on Facebook. Everything on Facebook. Just Google, just type it in Google and it pops up.
Go on.
Instagram, Twitter, all the stuff is right now.
Travis, where we can find you?
Somewhere on the road in traffic, probably at some point.
Jay, where can we find you online? Because I don't know what kind of thing this
Yeah.
is Travis doing. He's trying to be incognito here. I don't know what's going on.
Every project that I do, I post on my website, jklmedia.org. And if you want to hear any of the music that I produce, you can find us on We Are Salvage 100 on any platform. The music is available on every digital platform where music is sold or streamed.
Well, I just remember that I doing bad. I also have a website, thirdworldentertainment.net. That's where you can find the music, the puzzles, everything that involves my businesses. It's right there on thirdworldentertainment.net.
You got to spell it because that could be the number 3.
Yeah,
or
number
word
3, yeah, number 3,
Uh-huh.
RDentertainment.net.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you for taking part in this episode. We appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in, watching, and engaging with your comments. We enjoy them. We appreciate it. And we're going to end it as we always do. Losers make excuses. Winners make adjustments. Go out there and do something. If you have to start multiple businesses, go ahead, try it. Get your feet wet. Do something. Don't
copyright
sit
that,
home and complain and talk, but you know opportunities.
You don't copyright that, Eddie?
Huh?
You copyright that yet?
I told
don't.
Greg I want it on a shirt.
I
I can put
said,
that on shirt. We can have them
Oh,
for sale.
that'd be
Yeah, we can have them for
dope.
sale.
Yes, I'm
make sure Donald Trump know that.
Yeah, they coming soon. The shirts.
Hey,
shirts, look out for the t-shirts.
if we start a Kickstarter or a thing for these shirts, just a shameless plug, because that'd be very dope. I mean, I would be down to do
Oh,
that.
he didn't want to shout out his business just now. We asked him where he could find it. He could have put in a plug.
No, but
for
I'm
his
talking about the
business.
podcast. I'm
But
talking
then
about the podcast.
and you have something where you work
Yes, TravisMillerWeb.com, ThoughtAndMethod.com, OurLink.com, ShiftTheCulture.org.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that wasn't so hard. Cheers, man. It didn't kill you. Thank you. All right, folks. Until next time, we'll be here again next Thursday.
And the Facebooks for for shifttheculture.org.
Just stop.
Yeah. We'll be out next week, same time, same Facebook page, Entrepreneur to Entrepreneur. Make sure you tune in, like the page, share the videos. If you think this can add value to somebody's life, please share it. And thank you once again. Until next time, peace.
After the show,
It's the after show. It's the after show. Oh yeah.
brought to you by
After show.
nobody.
Listen, Gail, man.
All right.